Welcome back to Squelch, the video game book club. I'm Dano.
I'm Matt at Arms.
And I'm Storm Rage! And we're here to remind everyone that Mass Effect 3 is a game. The games are supposed to be fun! We only have 2 more weeks left of Mass Effect after this week. So this week we are talking about Citadel 2, the Perseus Veil, the Geth Dreadnaught, Rannoch, and the Leviathon DLC. And next week we will be playing the Citadel 3, which is barely a mission, Thessia, Horizon, and Citadel Shore Leave DLC, my favorite DLC in video games.
And then...
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I did Citadel 3 today, and I'm like, oh, this is actually a mission. It counts as a mission. This is a mission. Like, yeah, we'll talk about it next.
Yeah.
And then... after we do that, then we have one more week, which is essentially the end of the video game. Correct?
Yep.
Yes.
And then we are done with the Mass Effect trilogy, which is amazing. Not going to lie. Pretty shocked that we actually did it. I don't know what that says about me and like what I think we do, but like the fact that we actually said, hey, we're going to play all the Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect, actually not all the Mass Effects, obviously, because there's Andromeda or whatever it is.
But pretty close to all the Mass Effects.
Yes.
All the good Mass Effects, apparently, according to the internet.
The internet doesn't like that last Mass Effect game very much, though I hear good things.
No, it does not.
It's not good. I hear average things, which... So... But yeah, I mean, I imagine we'll probably play it someday, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we won't. I'm not going to put that out there too much. So what we're doing after we finish up with Mass Effect, we're heading over to Chrono Trigger for our from our BioWare break. We're playing Chrono Trigger for 4 weeks. We've got that tentatively mapped out, and we'll get that into the Discord if anyone wants to jump in and start playing early. And then after that, we are going to hop back into some BioWare games. We are going to play Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age Inquisition. Dragon Age Origins is an old game and does require a fan-made patch where it seems like you're basically installing a virus onto your computer. And you do have to install that onto your computer to play the game. It is not going to break your computer. At least it hasn't broken mine. Are you sure
it's not going to break my computer? I feel like it might break my computer.
Oh, I've had it on for like 2 months, and my computer is still functioning properly. I'm sure like all my data is going somewhere that I don't know about, but that might just be Audacity.
It's 100% Audacity.
So.
I did let Matt and Just a Guy test it out for about a month and a half before I installed it onto my computer, and they seem just fine. So I have it installed now. It's working. The game is playable. There are some really good like fan-made patches out there, or mods out there to like kind of like fix all the little bugs, to improve some graphics and that kind of stuff. So we'll go over all that right before we get started on that. So there'll be a couple of mods I think we'll probably want to install that will make it just more fun on top of the fan-made patch that is required to play. And then, so we'll talk about all that. But it's a fantastic game, and I'm really jazzed. I played it just a little bit to make sure the patch worked, and holy buckets, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to play this game and talk about it. So I am super duper jazzed. I'm also jazzed for Chrono Trigger. So
I am very excited for Chrono Trigger as well. That's a game that has been on my to play list for a very long time.
Same.
I haven't played it since like it came out. So like 97-ish. Were you?
I was alive.
Okay.
I was not playing video games at that point. I was 5.
Okay, so you were 5 and I was beating Chrono Trigger, so that's awesome. I love that about us.
The last time I played Chrono Trigger was in college, because I didn't own it on the SNES because it was expensive. And then I just emulated the heck out of it in college. It was great.
Fun story about this. So I did not play it right when it came out. I played it. I got it for Christmas. I asked for it for Christmas from my parents. And my dad, bless his heart, love him to death. Fantastic, fantastic father. He went to what was the name of the KB Toys, I think is what it was called, the toy store.
That was
KB
Toys.
Toys.
Yeah.
And asked for the advice for the man behind the counter. My son really wants Chrono Trigger for Christmas. What would you say? And he goes, I've heard it's a very good game, but Lord of the Rings I would suggest Lord of the Rings over Chrono Trigger. If anyone knows about Lord of the Rings for the Super Nintendo, it is an all-time stinker. So I ended up getting it with like work money, I think. Or like Christmas
what Lord
money,
of the Rings game was happening then? Lord of the Rings for SNES?
You Googling it right now?
Yes, of course I am.
Okay, while you're Googling that, the price that most Toys R Us had Chrono Trigger back when it was released in 1995 was $79.99 in $1995. That today, to inflation, is hold on, doing it right now. Calculator. $163.60.
Yeah, Matt. Well, I got news for you. My salary hasn't gone up with inflation, so I don't want to hear about the video games not going up for inflation.
I'm just saying. Chrono Trigger back in was $80.
Crimea River. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm looking at screenshots, by the way, of the Lord of the Rings video game. It came out in 94, by the way, so it was even an older game when it came out.
Yeah.
My dad got it. And I am getting like nostalgia flashbacks for this game because I played a lot of it because it was a game I owned. Mm-hmm. I love that so much. But yeah, so I got that instead of Chrono Trigger. That meant buying Chrono Trigger on my own. So I'm super excited to play that. And then we're going to play Lord of the Rings for the SNES. We're not. So anyways, back about Dragon Age Origins. Apparently GOG, I think it's GOG.com, Good Old Games. I think I read on a forum that they actually implemented the fan patch. So it's a 4 gigabyte. It's required in order for it's like a RAM thing or something like that. So it's a chance that GOG actually patched that up. So if you have the GOG version, you might be okay and not need the fan-made patch. If you do have the GOG version, you don't have to download the also equally sketchy .exe that you have to throw into your computer.
You are really throwing a ringing endorsement behind this game before we get started, aren't you?
That's why we didn't for sure set on this, because there's multiple levels of this is kind of
There's
sketchy.
A lot of things. In order to be a true Squelch fan, you have to be willing to risk your entire computer setup. And I don't think that's crazy to ask.
But I mean, all we ask is you to install this program on your computer. It's not going to give us any more money than
we swear, pinky promise, it's not just spyware, so we can steal all your data.
Exactly. And sell it to the Russian mob. Yeah.
Here's the deal. If I'm able to do this, because I am computer illiterate, if I'm able to make this work, really anyone can make it work. So we'll have instructions in Discord on how to do it, and then we'll also talk about it in the podcast. But it's not hard, but it does feel super sketchy. So just buckle up, Buttercup.
Or you could play it on the console and do it that way.
You could if you have a Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Which I did until just recently, by the way. All right. Let's go thank some patrons, speaking of money.
Thanks. I am pretty incredible.
Thank.
Oh, that's good. That's so good. Hey, thank you so much, patrons. So last week there was high school basketball drama in the Twin Cities, and I really want to talk about it.
And we didn't get to talk about it.
I know.
I wrote this in for Dano to talk about because I want to know about high school basketball drama.
I forgot all about it, if I'm being honest. So when I read it in the show notes, I was like, oh, that's right. Yes, we are definitely 100% talking about this. So if you too want to catch up on high school basketball drama in the Twin Cities metropolitan area, just
And
join
I
our
do.
Patreon for $1 a month, and you can
Just
get
$1 a
it. So, honestly, though, thank you to all our patrons. We really do appreciate it. If you want to support the podcast without giving us money, a fantastic way to do that is honestly just tell a friend about this dumb show. That'd be great.
Yes.
Like to say, hey, if you like playing video games and you've kind of always wanted to play video games with a friend in a book club format, you should 100% check out this dopey dummy podcast that I listen to. That would mean the world to us. I'm being completely honest. So if you want to give us money, that's awesome. I love you for that. That keeps everything running and keeps the podcast podding. But if you want to just go and talk to a friend or 2 or 10, 15, 20, that's awesome. Honestly, just one person. Yeah, if you think they would like it.
We can pull the old MCI commercial out. It's like, you tell 2 friends, and you tell 2 friends, and so on, and so on.
I kind of might. But honestly, thank you all so much. We do appreciate that you're listening and that you are patronizing us.
Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
I do, Joker. Thank you so much. We have so much to talk about today. Boy, howdy, let's strap in and get ready to go. As a brief recap of what happened last time, we were able to unite the Krogan, cure the genophage. So now we've got the Krogan and the Turians as allies. They're helping each other to defeat the Reapers, and they are holding strong as Earth, admittedly, not doing great, but help is on the way, assuredly. We were just recently notified that the Solarian Council has dirt on Udina, and so we are headed back to the Council to see what that looks like. So we return to the Citadel to meet with the Solarian Counselor. When we arrive, the Citadel is under attack from Cerberus. We meet up with Commander Bailey, who's in charge of Citadel security, and he lets us know that this council is also in danger. We make our way to try to find the Solarian Counselor, who successfully hid from the initial attack. Before we get there, the Counselor is under attack by an assassin, Kai Lang. And it doesn't look good. It's an assassin versus an unarmed civilian. Who do you think's gonna win? But wait, is that Thane from the top rope! Thane, our best friend and assassin from Mass Effect 2, who is unable to join us because of his Kepler's syndrome, steps in one of the coolest action sequences in Mass Effect 3, but is unfortunately mortally wounded by Kai Lang. The Solarian Counselor tells us that Udina betrayed the Council and we need to stop him. Thane tells us, go catch Kai Lang, I will survive. We chase after Kai Lang, who is trying to murder the other counselors. After a cool little elevator battle, we get a cutscene with the Vermeer survivor, Ashley Arcadian, protecting the council. Udina tries to blame us for everything that's happened, and basically is like, Shepard's the reason that all the bad things have happened. I'm the human counselor. Why would I do anything bad? And depending on our previous choices, a lot of things can happen, but Udina almost always ends up dead. In fact, I don't know if there's a way for him not to end up dead. There is one final scene where Thane is in the hospital on the verge of death. His son comes in and helps with a final prayer. At the end of the prayer, the son reveals that the prayer was not for Thane, but instead for Commander Shepard. How'd you guys feel about this whole sequence of things? From Thane dying, the counselor, Udina's betrayal, getting to shoot Udina in the face. What are everybody's thoughts on this? Because it is a Renegade interrupt, and I imagine that is a Renegade interrupt that all three of us smashed as fast as we could.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I right triggered faster than harder than I've ever right triggered before.
Yeah. It's like, I can shoot Udina? Yeah, let's go.
Great. There are a couple of like very great right triggers in this week. I feel like there's a couple where you're like, yep, boom, done. Yep, took care of that. Renegade was the right choice.
It always is.
I felt like there should have been a little bit of like proof necessary for us to not for like Udina, because like he's like, Udina's a bad guy. We're like, oh, you're right, Udina's a bad guy, and I'm like, you have distrusted every single thing I have ever told you, and you're like coming at me like, oh hey, Udina's a bad guy. I have no proof. You need to believe me. And Shepard's like, okay, I believe you. I felt like there needed to be something there, but it was fine. It was great. I thought it was kind of fun. I feel like Kai Lang, like, if you're going to introduce, like, this big bad, like, alternate shepherd, I feel like there's going to be more about him in other places. He just felt out of place and weird. And, like...
I mean, he gets his butt kicked by Thane pretty hard, and Thane's like Thane literally has his lungs tied behind his back at this point.
Anderson's like, oh, Kai Lang, I've run into him before. And I'm like, cool, I haven't, though. So
yeah, thanks for telling me, by the way.
I kind of feel like...
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, Kai Lang is a dude that I think is a pretty... I think he is a cool-looking design with some interesting aspects, but they try to introduce him in a way that, like, makes it seem like he's had this, like, important significance throughout all of the games and you just haven't seen it. And it's like, you can just kind of make him a bad dude that came out of nowhere. I'm okay with that. Yep. That's fine.
I mean, if we encountered him at all in, like, Mass Effect 2, or had to, like, or Miranda, like, talk to him at all about this other project they possibly worked on, that'd have been great. But no, she just shows up from nowhere, right?
Even...
like, and just like, I'm just this Japanese, like, wannabe samurai guy who kind of sucks.
He's a ninja.
Ninja samurai, yeah, wannabe, and is terrible.
It was, even if you just introduced him in Mass Effect 3 at any point before now, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Like, it's like what the elusive man. Yeah, that's like the only time you saw him. He was talking to the elusive man briefly. That was it.
Yeah, it's fine. He's not the end of the world. Like, but they kind of like try to play it like he's like, oh, this is the anti-Shepard, and this is this is what elusive man wanted Shepard to be, but Shepard got free, but now he has Kai Lang, and this is gonna be the end of Shepard. And you're like, I don't know. Like, I've played like 55 hours of this game, and like, you're in 2 minutes of it, pal, and like, even after that 2 minutes, I haven't seen you since. So I don't know. Like, I ain't way too worried about you. Other than that, it was
Reapers
pretty fun
to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was good. I enjoyed it. I think it was a. Did we talk about what happened to Thane? We did, right? Yeah. It was a fun.
I mentioned that he. Yeah. That he dies in a scene that I actually think is probably my favorite moment of this mission. Like, just, it's a quiet moment. Thane is dying, and Shepard is there, and it's just such a nice reveal when Kolyat, Thane's son, says, "The prayer was not for him, Commander Shepard. He has already sought forgiveness for his actions. It was for you." And that idea, or that concept of Thane going, "This is my last moment. What's the most important thing? It's saving my friend." And that moment hit hard. Matt, I'm curious, what was your moment like as somebody that had romanced Thane into?
It was very similar. It's like, but there was like, Shepard asked the question, why was the last line of the prayer she? And then he goes into the prayer wasn't for him, it was for you. And then, like, I don't know, it just, the emotions were there for me. Like, I did it like last week, and so it's like the emotional impact was I guess harder, because I immediately did this right after Morden too.
Yep.
So it was like, oh man, two of my favorite people in Mass Effect 2 are no longer there.
Yep.
And it's just like, and then you walk onto the ship and you see his name on the wall, and it's just like, oh, come on.
And that's something that we haven't mentioned, which is on the ship, there's this memorial wall that has the names of every single person that you've interacted with that has died during your missions. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was updating. It
updates.
Yeah, I just walk by and point and laugh at Ashley's name every time.
Which is the correct choice, by the way.
I actually haven't heard anybody else's name.
Thankria shows up on there. Somebody else shows up there at the end.
Morden Solus shows up.
And then somebody else shows up at the end of this episode.
Yep.
So
there's a preview of things that are coming that are definitely not bummers.
Right?
I thought.
No.
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
No. I thought it hit really hard, and it's like, it was a really good moment, and then like immediately Liara's like, "Hey, you want to get back together?" And it's like, oh, okay.
That didn't happen to me. I guess I already turned her down. So.
I did Liara in 1, did Thane in 2, and then
gotcha.
And then like I'm deciding if I want to go back to Liara. I haven't decided yet.
Well, it's a tough decision. It's a tough decision.
It is.
I like that they didn't let you have like some sort of like, Paragon or Renegade interrupt to like save his life. Like I'm okay that like some of these are written in stone and some of them are written in pencil. And there are 2 more that are written in pencil we can talk about today. That we will talk about today. One of them we'll talk about during the recap, and one we'll talk about during lore. But I like that. Like we got the band together in 2, and then in 3, like the band is falling apart. It's pretty fun. It's a really well written story. Now I've heard the ending doesn't hold up, which bums me out, but so far I think the story's been great. The way they've treated the Mass Effect 2 characters, even though it's been really good, even though I wish the Mass Effect 3 party members are better. I think the way they're treating the Mass Effect 2 party members has been really, really good. And so yeah, I really enjoyed this. I loved Thane throwing shade at Kai Lang, where he was like, "Yeah, he couldn't even beat a dying,
couldn't beat a dying assassin well past his prime."
Yeah,
and it was just like, yeah, those are great last words as well. Great job, Thane.
Thane's great. Rest in peace, Thane.
But no, it was fun. It was a good fun mission. I liked it. It was really cool to see the Citadel kind of be under attack like that, and to have to kind of run through, and because it's all the places that you've been, because you spend so much time in the Citadel in Mass Effect 3. Like the Citadel is very much like, so like in Mass Effect 2, like all of like your interpersonal stuff happens on the ship. And I'm not sure if we talked about this yet or not, but in Mass Effect 3, like I would say equal parts or more happens on the Citadel as happens on your ship.
It's really close, for sure.
So a lot of Mass Effect 3 is running around the Citadel and making sure you're listening to the conversations that are happening, and then talking to your party members and ex-party members that are on the Citadel. And so seeing it going from this place that has avoided the war so far to all of a sudden the war landing on its doorstep was really, really cool. So I really liked that.
And I think that one thing that is different is that in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, the Citadel is a quest hub, but it's not really like the center of the galaxy. Like in Mass Effect 1, you go there to start and then you leave and you don't really come back until the end of the game. Mass Effect 2, you go there for a couple missions, but it's not really like the core. In Mass Effect 3, the Citadel is the core, and it feels like that is the place that all the decisions are happening, and you're going out, coming back, going out, coming back, going out, coming back. And so I like that decision to add more weight to the Citadel.
And there are a couple places like that in Mass Effect 2. It's just that the Citadel isn't that place, because you're not in the Citadel systems. You're in the Terminus systems in Mass Effect 2. Like, you're outside of Citadel space, essentially. So it makes sense for the Citadel to not be... You're a criminal, essentially, in Mass Effect 2. So it doesn't make sense going to the Citadel. But there are a couple places that are kind of like that in Mass Effect 2. But, like, in Mass Effect, it was really intentional that... It's like they want to feel alive. There are conversations happening around you. Like, and those conversations, like as you progress through the game, like you learn things about those conversations, and you can actually make impacts on those people's lives via the Spectre Hub, which is cool. So like you can make good decisions and bad decisions. You can impact both ways depending on the decisions you make. And so I thought that was really cool. I really like I'm a big fan of how they played the Citadel in Mass Effect 3. It was a really cool idea.
Well, do we want to talk about as we leave the Citadel?
Sure.
We head out to the Citadel to head to the Perseus Veil. And the Quarians have basically said, hey, we're willing to help against the Reapers. You've helped us out in the past. But there's just one tiny little problem. Oopsies. We oopsied and we started a war when the Reapers got here with the Geth to retake our homeworld. So, like, we need to do that war before we can help with the war that's consuming all life, because we make great decisions here within the Quarian Admiralty Board.
Only good decisions made by the Quarians. Only good decisions.
Yeah. By the way, as Renegade Shepherd, you can choose the options. You can be like, yeah, about time you started this war. Or, About time you listen to me. I'm like, wait, no. This is not what I wanted. No, I don't want
actually
this to happen.
don't want you to go do a genocide. That seems bad.
That seems bad. I would
maybe
actually
not right now. Maybe just not right
Yeah.
now.
Let's take care of this Reaper thing first, and then we can do the genocide.
Put a pause on this. Just put a pin in it.
Let's do this
We'll get
genocide
back
before we
to
do
that
this genocide.
after all life in the galaxy continues to exist. Let's just hold on.
One thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Do we want to talk about the possible outcomes of the end of the Citadel mission? Because we talked about the most likely outcome that happened, but there's a lot of other possibilities.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the main possibility on the end of Citadel 3 is that you have to kill the Vermeer survivor. So it turns out they don't actually survive. Basically, there's a number of different checks that it does. So essentially, if there's like a scoring system, and if the score is like +4 or whatever or higher, then you can talk them down. But there are a couple of things that you can do that will lower that score. So for instance, if you romance them in 1, but then you cheat on them, that lowers the score. So that's like a -2. If you kill the council in Mass Effect 1, that's a -2. If you don't let Thane survive, then Thane is not able to protect the Salarian Counselor. The Counselor dies, and Udina creates doctored footage of the Salarian Counselor dying because of you. So you get like a -6 if Thane isn't there. And if that all happens, you have to kill the Vermeer survivor. So what might have been a choice to save them in 1 is a choice to not save them in 3. So maybe, Daniel, you just needed to wait until this point in time and make all the wrong decisions to kill Ashley yourself.
I mean, because after this is a choice where, like, the Vermeer survivor asks, hey, can I come with you? And you could say, yes, I would love for you to come back and join me on the Normandy. Or you could say no. And if it were me, and I would say, no, you can't.
I wish I said no. I really wish I said no.
Yeah, there are a couple other things here. What was it? I wanted to mention a couple other things here as well. Oh, I forgot them though. We're talking about the different choices that they make.
Yes.
Oh man,
Anything about them?
it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh well. Moving on.
Oh well.
I guess
We did our best.
They were really funny and insightful as well. Darn it.
Aren't they always, Dano? Aren't they always?
Usually not, but these were actually really good.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
I'll
we'll
remember
never
in 5
know.
minutes. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and continue on with the Perseus Veil. So Quarians say, hey, we'll give you our ships, but we got to finish this war that we just started here first. And we also, the Admiralty board comes on board the Normandy, and Tally is now on the Admiralty board. She opposed the invasion along with one other admiral, but they were eventually outvoted 3-2. They believe that now is the time because they developed some Geth. They developed some technology to essentially incapacitate the Geth. So yes, Stano.
How did That's Admirable vote?
What?
That's Admirable. How'd he vote for this? Remember Admiral from
the Hearthstone
Hearthstone caster? Come on. That was deep cut from about 5, 6, 7 years ago. No? Nobody? Just me? Okay, moving on.
No, I get it.
I mean, I understand it. I'm not entirely sure that it was like a ha-ha worthy response, but I do admittedly really appreciate that you brought the podcast to a standstill to make sure that we at least got the joke. And so, you know what? I give you 0 points for the actual joke. I give you 7 points for stopping the podcast to explain the joke.
Thank you for that. Well, I feel like we really need to push for content this week because we don't have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we only went an hour and 45 last week. We really need to hit that 2-hour number.
I mean, we have definitely well over 10 pages of show notes here, so it's definitely it's another short one.
Yep. And this is even without Tea with Finley or a significant patron thank you. So let's keep on going, shall we? Or do you have another joke about an old Hearthstone personality?
I mean, probably. Do you want to give me a few minutes to think about it?
All right, you keep thinking. I'll continue on with the show. So, the Geth were being defeated. They were losing the war, and the Quarians seemed as though they were on the verge of retaking their homeworld. But, as a last resort, the Geth decided to ally with the Reapers. In exchange, that the Geth were given improved technology that could more effectively fight back against the Quarians. So the tides had turned. So all of a sudden, the Geth went from likely going to lose to absolutely wrecking shop with the Quarians. So the Quarians are now on the verge of defeat, and the Geth are now under Reaper control. So we help the Quarians retake their homeworld, and we get the biggest fleet in the galaxy. That seems like a pretty bad deal, but we're gonna try it anyway because we're Commander Shepard, and this is Mass Effect 3, where we gather all of our friends to help save the world.
I was so angry at the Quarians because it was like
they made so many dumb choices
and zero apologies, and like they refused to acknowledge any mistakes. Like they just we made this decision, and maybe it wasn't a good one, but it's a decision we made, and we can only move forward. There's only moving forward. We can only continue to double and triple down on our bad decisions, which they do. Like oopsie poopsie. Sorry, we almost killed you, Shepard, but like I had my chance, had to take the shot. No, you didn't. You honestly didn't.
You really didn't, actually. Now that we think about it.
You could have waited like a week. And like it'd have been fine. Have we
gone and tried to take the homeworld back yet? How are we going to do this mission recap? Because there's the Dreadnaught.
We have not yet. We have not. Okay. We have just proposed the idea that the homeworld needs to be retaken.
Gotcha.
So from here, we then go to the Geth Dreadnaught. And the Geth Dreadnaught is a massive Geth Dreadnaught that is like multiple skyscrapers big. This thing is huge, and it is ripping apart the Quarian fleet. It is also broadcasting the Reaper code. So if we take out the Dreadnaught, not only is that a significant ship, but also it should stop broadcasting the Reaper code, making the Geth weak again. We find our way to the core of the Dreadnaught, and turns out the core is Legion! Ba-ba-da-ba! It's our friend from Mass Effect 2, except for this time, he is imprisoned and like hooked up to the core, and he is really sorry about the way that things have gone. Our Geth friend from Mass Effect 2 kind of apologizes and says, hey, we allied with the Reapers. I didn't want to. We really didn't want to, but we did. We did for survival. As a gesture of goodwill and good faith, Legion shuts down the Dreadnaught, and he says, all right, let's get going. And then the Quarian fleet fires upon the Dreadnaught while we are actively on board. Not only us, not only Commander Shepard, the person that's going to save the entire flippin' galaxy, but also we are with Tally, one of their Admiralty board, one of the 5 most important people in their entire government. They're just going to destroy and blow up the ship. It's very rude, and afterwards, you can punch the dude that made that call and send him off your ship, and I did that so fast.
Yes.
So fast.
Yeah.
Second, this maybe even a faster right trigger than like taking care of Udina was punching this guy and kicking him off the ship. And I was like, maybe that was, I bet you I lost some war assets there because I did that, but I'm like, I don't care. This guy just made bad decision. I don't want him anywhere near a decision that can be made. And then later on, when you walk in on him and the other admiral that's on like at the Normandy, you can support him on like making another terrible decision or support the other admiral. It's like, why would I support this idiot? Like,
I kicked him off my ship for a reason. Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, literally, like that guy could be like, we can save children, and the other person, no, we can murder children. And I'd be like, the guy that shot at me on the Dreadnaught who wants to save children? No, we're gonna murder those children just because I hate that guy. It's not like that level, but like it's just like the choice isn't that level, but it's like I hate that guy so much I would murder children.
Well, the choice is literally putting children at risk or not putting children, because he put guns on the farming ships, and like now they're dreadnoughts. No, they're not. They're farming ships with one big gun and no defenses.
No, that's decision. Like the Joker line after this mission, where it's like, if the idea of putting guns on your child's school bus, maybe it's the plan is putting guns on your child's school bus. Maybe it's a bad plan. I agree with Joker there. So. Yeah.
Well, from there are 2 small missions that happen before we are allowed to take the homeworld. First, we save the other general who opposed the war and ended up crash landing on Rannoch. And we take him out, or we save him, and we fly back, and it's a good old time. Next, we take out a Geth fighter squadron by destroying a database of Geth. And the storytelling in this one is super fascinating. And I know, Dano, this might have been the second most frustrating mission that you've played in Mass Effect. But I think that you would also agree that the storytelling here was really interesting. Essentially, the way that you go about this mission is you are literally logged into a computer. So you are in a digital virtual space, and Legion gives you a gun. And Shepard is like, why am I given a gun if I'm just like deleting code? And Legion's like, it's what's most familiar to you. And I think one, very fun and good use of like, how do we explain this? How do we lampshade this? And 2, also kind of a dig at Shepard of like, you've got one thing you're good at. It's gun. I'm going to give it to you. But while we are in this Geth database, while we're shutting down these different informational and database nodes, we also are able to identify a number of different like aspects and points in their history. So we find out a lot of lore about the Geth. And a brief rundown of all the lore that we find out is that they were essentially betrayed by the Quarians when they started asking questions about their existence, about life, about improvements. They kind of started denying being shut down if they could find ways to improve instead. So the Geth allied themselves all together to fight back after the Quarians tried to eliminate them. The Geth pushed the Quarians out of the system, but they didn't pursue them because the Geth only cared about their own survival, not the elimination of the Quarians. So we also find out that Legion was one of the very, very first Geth. In fact, he was the first Geth that picked up a weapon, and it was a sniper rifle that he still uses today. So we also see his original creator that died standing up for Legion. So there is a lot of stuff that happened in this mission, but I want to give time. What did you guys think about these 2 little side quests?
I really, really liked it wasn't a lore dump like we got during Mass Effect 1. Like Mass Effect 1, this would have been a very, very long conversation tree. So yes. I love that it was, I thought it was really, really well done for that. Like a really great lore dump. Really, really good lore dump. I just wish that they had, I didn't even have a problem with like the fake gun and the core destruction, or the code destruction. It was just the pathing was very confusing. I think if they had done something different with the pathing, it would have been great. As it was just fine once I got used to it. But like, other than the pathing, I thought it was a lot of fun, really interesting, really cool. And then again, the Quarians, like, man, they're the worst. like it's like the living embodiment of, oh, look, it's the consequences of my own actions. Like,
yep.
The only reason you don't have a homeworld is because you like. You lost your own homeworld. It was your fault. Like the Geth never.
Every step of the way was your fault. Creating these things was your fault, and then not allowing them to evolve when you gave them artificial intelligence was your fault, and then trying to eliminate them through violence was your fault. Like every choice was a bad one.
And then like just like killing their own people who didn't think that the Geth should be destroyed. Like it was all bad things. Yeah. All bad things. It was just terrible.
The most frustrating part, and it was like I just felt really dumb. Where it's like you must delete this other line of code before you delete this line of code.
That
like,
took me a couple minutes, Matt. You had to look up.
Like I'm like, what are you talking about? Because like the range on the gun made no sense. It was either short range or no, or like unlimited range.
The like range was however far you needed. However close you could get to a thing in order to hit it, that was good enough.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like what like in Legion repeated like 3 times. You need to destroy the other code fragment. Like, which one? There's this one here. Where's the other one? What are you talking about? Point it out. Give me one of those little reticules you give me for everything else.
Thank you.
Pointing that out. Just do that.
You can also just follow the code backwards and shoot it there. Like,
No.
you just follow it and it's there. It's
But
not that
sometimes
hard.
it wasn't though. Sometimes you'd be like, okay, I see it. I'm following it back. This is definitely it. And then you had to like go to a completely like, oh no, I had to go all the way back to this other thing that I couldn't shoot earlier, but now it's time to shoot it. No,
it was frustratingly, it made me feel super dumb at points.
Give me one of them eyeball things if you needed to, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't need it for everything.
Yeah, give me an eyeball trigger. That's all I want. Give me an eyeball trigger and I'll be good.
There were a couple different things in this mission where I was like, I feel like, don't vague book me about what I need to do. This happens later on in the next mission as well, where I'm like, I love what you're doing, but I don't like how you did it.
Yeah.
It was fine though. It was good. Great storytelling.
Really fun story. Fun story, and a very interesting mechanic, albeit a bit of a frustrating mechanic at times.
Yeah, slightly flawed. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, after that, we make our final push on the planet itself to destroy the Reaper signal server that is continually uploading the Reaper signal. So essentially, after we take down the Dreadnaught, Legion reveals, oh, that's just the local signal. We need to kill the actual signal itself. So we fight our way through a Geth base while Legion is moving ahead of us, doing very important things off screen. We eventually make our way to the central area, which is guarded by 3 Geth primes. And oh dear lord, did I die so many times on this fight. This is the fight that has killed me the most times. I counted, I died 12 times. I was playing with, I was streaming to my partner while I was playing this, and there was a point where she said, are you sure you don't need to take a break? Which is the most both kind and, like, absolutely the worst thing to say of, like, you're not doing good. You probably shouldn't be doing this. Dano, how did you do on this one?
So this one wasn't as bad as the Omega DLC for me, actually. So this one,
Oh, interesting. This one was way worse for me.
So for me, this one wasn't. So this one, I died a bunch. But it was all very quick. So like, I would say I probably died 10 times, like trying to figure out what I was supposed to do. But it was like, go up the elevator, run in, get killed by one of the primes immediately.
Yeah.
So it was that over and over and over again. And then I was like, okay, I have this heavy weapon here. I think I should probably use a heavy weapon. And then once I had a plan of action, it went pretty quick. I think it took me just 2 attempts once I had a plan. But it took me a few tries to actually get a plan. But once I had the plan, I was able to knock out that first Geth Prime in the middle really quickly with the heavy weapon behind cover. And then by that, then the Prime on the right had come over. I was able to kind of get around them and then get cover behind them and then kind of take them out from behind. Just kind of flank them. And then once I had that, then I went all the way around and outflanked the far left one. And that one, once I had that, was I could take out one Prime really, really easily with like my hacking powers and like that kind of stuff. So once I had the first one down and then was able to flank the second one, it was actually gravy. But so this was actually easier than the Omega DLC, which is like never-ending mooks dropping plus like the big bads. That was way harder for me than the 3 primes.
Interesting. I got 3 shot by the Geth primes, so like three boom boom booms, and I was dead.
Oh yeah.
So I just kept being at the wrong spot at the wrong time, and they're just like, you're dead. Matt, how did you do on this one as a Vanguard?
It was bad. I was like struggling. Like I literally coming off the elevator immediately die. I eventually figured out a method where I grabbed the gun in the middle and I went towards the prime on the right side, and took and tried to single him out as much as possible, and then work on the middle and then work on the end. I made this extra harder on myself because I brought Ashley, and Ashley is useless. She like literally like every time I looked at her during the fight, she was hiding behind some cover, like not doing anything. So it was completely useless. She was completely useless, and I'll talk about that later. Yeah, and it was like, yeah, like a couple times I just got off the elevator and immediately was dead. Like I don't know what was.
Yeah,
like,
I did that a lot.
It was not a good time. I was about where your point was like, maybe I tackle this tomorrow. Because it was getting late and I was getting tired and like I was getting frustrated, and now it's like, okay, maybe I play this tomorrow, and maybe I knew as soon as I did, I eventually found a method where I would shoot, charge, and then as soon as you charge, they'd swing at you. So I do a dive roll back and then shoot.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then by then my shields were down, my barrier was down, and then my charge was back up. So I charged them again, dodge, and just getting the rhythm of doing that, and it ended up working great. So
good for you. I ended up just basically surviving using the heavy. I basically did what Dano said, but I had to run around so much more. I just kept hacking and just trying to survive, and I ran around so many flipping corners trying to survive, and I just kept running around a circle. There was one point where the game was Geth Prime would summon Drone, I would hack Drone would fire at Geth Prime would destroy Drone, would run after me, and I would run around the circle. So that's all it was, is we were running around a circle, I was hacking the little drone he was summoning. It took, no joke, 3 minutes to kill this thing, but I just couldn't risk popping out into the open.
Yeah, that was one thing with the sniper rifle that really helped, is those drones get one shot by the sniper rifle. So, they were inconsequential. So if I could, all I had to do was survive that initial barrage where the first two can laser in on you, and then that's where it's super brutal when you get the elevator, and then boom, there's the 3 primes, 1 prime to the left, 1 prime in the middle, and 1 to the right. The one on the left isn't really involved right away, but the one in the middle immediately starts dumping missiles on you, and the one on the right gets involved super quickly as well. And so you walk up, and then there's a heavy weapon supplied by the game, basically like a Gatling gun. And so I use that to just I Gatling gun, then had my two companions just dump powers onto that first one, so I could just survive that initial barrage essentially. And then the second one, I was kind of snipe it down and use powers. And the third one, I would snipe the drone and then hack the prime, because I could hack the prime and take it over, and it just sits there, and then you just shoot it down, hack it, let it take over, then you shoot it down. So once there's just one left, the primes were no problem for me. But I had to have it just that one left, then it was easy mode. So, but that was actually, I love the primes. I think they're super fun, and for an infiltrator, they're really kind of fun. You can play with them. So if it's a prime and a bunch of mooks, I'll hack the prime, and it takes care of all the mooks for me.
That is very fun.
So I actually really enjoy the prime fights.
I imagine that you and I had a much easier time on this mission, or would have, because Matt, what difficulty are you on right now? Are you on hardcore?
No, I'm on normal. I'm still on normal.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine that the ability to hack made this significantly easier.
Oh, yeah. The bane of my existence are those rocket Geth.
Those things are so annoying.
Because the only way I can kill them, the only way I can effectively deal with them is charge them and immediately kill them.
Yep.
Oh.
Unfortunately, they're behind cover so often that or on ledges I can't get to. So it's I'm there with my assault rifle behind cover, trying to get him, and every time I pop up, 3 rockets come at my face. So
yeah, so I have, those are actually not a big problem for me, because because I have Tally's power, so I steal their shields, and then I always have Caden with me, and then I always have Edie with me. And so both of them are super good at knocking out shields, and then I have the flame power, and Edie has the flame power, so those are actually go down without a, but they're kind of, the Geth in general are basically easy mode for my class and my party comp.
Yeah.
Fair.
No, it's the rocket Geth, and it's the big fat reapers, the big belly reapers.
The ones with the heads in the middle of their bodies.
Yeah.
And the giant cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
anything with anything with cannons, anything that does cannons or rockets, I just cannot deal with for some reason.
Yep. I get it.
Yeah.
So we fight our way through these 3 Geth Prime, one way or another, and we find out that the server isn't actually a server. It's a living Reaper. So Reaper comes out to play, and we link up the entire fleet to a single super fancy, extra cool laser pointer.
Literally.
And we blow the Reaper away in a final fight that definitely didn't destroy Dano's faith in everything and make him so unbelievably frustrated I thought he wouldn't finish Mass Effect 3.
Schwal was there and Torby was there for a brief moment. I think Torby popped into the room and like I was like probably been at this for quite a while at this point. And then like I had to go give Dean a shower and then Torby was gone when I got back. He was like, I ain't doing this. It was awful. I could not figure this fight out. It just drove me bananas.
So the way to beat this fight, in case you're wondering, in case you're struggling like Dano is once the Reaper, so basically stay on one edge of the map and the Reaper will shoot one giant laser at you and your job is to like hold left click down in order to target the laser. And the easiest way to do it is just stay on, for me it was on the right hand side, and then once the laser starts, I just slide on over to the left while I'm targeting, and then I will jump roll near the end. But you also don't really even have to roll. If you just move one consistent direction from the start of the laser, it won't catch you. And you do that up until it gets right up in front of your face, and then it goes slow-mo, and then you just hold down left click. You don't dodge the last one, you just hold down left click, and it'll kill it. But don't try and dodge it, or else you'll die.
Yeah.
This was fun. This was cool.
No, it wasn't.
I enjoyed this mission. I enjoyed this fight tremendously, just because, like, you know, you're staring down the face of a Reaper and you're about to blow its eyeball off. It's great.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like once I had the dodge roll mechanics down, I didn't mind it. But then there was the last, and I'm gonna talk about this later, so I'm not gonna get into it now. But like this one, I ended up Googling how to finish this fight. That's how much I didn't get it. And it wasn't just, Schwal was there with me as well, and Schwal was equally confused. So it wasn't just me. It made zero sense. And like you were on this ledge where you had very limited mobility as well, where you couldn't like,
yeah.
And like there were, I don't know, like it was cinematic, but like, did it need to be a game mechanic or could it have just been a cutscene? Like,
I like that it is. I will say the thing about it is that the mechanics are deceptively simple, because it feels like the way that you do this fight is that you dodge the last second. That's what it feels like. But you don't need to. You could just drift to the left and then you do the fight. But it doesn't, it takes a while to figure that out. So I like that it's a mechanic, but I also understand that this can feel like a very, very tough fight if you don't realize that you could just kind of walk to the left.
I guess it gets a lot harder on harder difficulties as well, is what I read on like online guides, is that like when you start
interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'll talk about it later, so we don't have to get into it now, but it was very cool, but I found it very frustrating.
Very fair. Very fair. So we destroy the Reaper, and the Reaper, in a last moment of taunting, says, "You cannot escape us. The harvest is inevitable." And Legion has an idea. Legion, now that the Reaper is dead, believes that he can use the Reaper code to give genuine true life to each Geth in existence. So essentially, by broadcasting this Reaper code, which enhances the Geth to a level that is never been had before, they no longer have to work off of a hive mind consensus. Instead, each unit will be individual. So they will, for all intents and purposes, be a creature, a living creature. So this would also, unfortunately, equip the Geth with enough abilities to destroy the Quarians, because right now the Quarians are dive bombing in, and the Geth are kind of defenseless without this Reaper code. So Legion starts to upload it, and Tally pleads with Shepard to stop Legion. Shepard has many, many choices, and there are many, many different outcomes here. I'll talk about all the outcomes here in just a second. But the most common outcome, I'm guessing the outcome that all of us manage, is that Shepard convinces the Quarians, hey, don't attack, because if you attack, you're going to get super blown up, and I don't want to deal with that, so don't attack, and then everything will be chill. Legion uploads the code, and both races end in a relative peace. But in order to upload the Reaper code basically gets locked at 99%. Legion realizes that he has to sacrifice himself. He has to essentially manually upload his data, which will kill himself. So they decide that that's what they're going to do. And Legion, earlier in Mass Effect 2 and in Mass Effect 3, asks a couple of times, does this unit have a soul? And we finally have the end cap to that. with Tally talking to Legion and says, in response to your question, Legion, the answer is yes. And Legion responds, I know, Creator Zora, but thank you. And then he falls down, and the upload is complete. And we see the Geth and the Quarians working together to rebuild the planet.
This one was so good.
Yeah.
Legion did not get the screen time that it deserves. Such an amazingly cool character. The Geth are such an amazingly cool race in this game. Like the way that they're portrayed and like the way their story it gets told. Their story is essentially told for them, and so like the entire galaxy thinks they're these evil robots who, you know, kicked the Quarians off their planet when really the Quarians like tried to destroy them all and then had to flee when they bit off more than they could chew, and then basically said everyone, oh, look at these terrible things, we have to destroy them. And yeah, it's just so cool. And then at the end, that, you know, their ability to be sentient beings individually, very, very cool as well. And yeah, I really, really love this story arc quite a bit. And then Legion's like heroic final goodbye, very, very cool.
It's so good. Matt, what did you think of it?
I thought it was great. I thought it was super great. Like, you know, I initially was like, no, I initially followed Tally, like, no, we're not saving the Geth. You know, we're not going to upload the code. We're not going to do this. And then I got the Renegade, bottom left one, or whatever.
Yeah.
To, you know, the bottom left one where it's like, and where Shepard just gets on the horn and be like, all right, fleet, heads up, we're uploading the code. You're gonna stop fighting now, or y'all gonna die. Because it's like, it's like if you want to live, stop fighting. If you want to die, go ahead and continue the war.
It's a really cool moment. Now, in order for that ending that we all achieved to have happened, a number of things have to have happened in Mass Effect 2 and choices in Mass Effect 3. That is the ideal as far as both plot, narrative structure, and also war assets, because you get both fleets. In order for that to happen, here are the following things that have to have happened previously. 1, Tally was not exiled from her people, and also the data on her father was not revealed. 2, Legion must be alive and have been loyal to you at the end of Mass Effect 2. 3, there is a very, very small little signal that happens in the war room that EDI can clean up, and then you can use that signal to warn one of the Admiralty about, hey, this live ship is going down. You need to have done that. You also need to have disabled the fighter squadron and brought the Quarian Admiral back on board. If you've done those 5 things, and you have enough Paragon/Renegade, that can happen. Otherwise, here are some other common outcomes. You can choose to side with the Quarians. If you side with the Quarians, and you prevent the upload, then all Geth are destroyed. They're just wiped out. They successfully commit genocide. And you
have to fight Legion, yes. Right? You have to fight Legion because he tries to stop you, doesn't he? It's like yes. Legion will confront you and attack you to try to like let him finish the job, and then Tally has to kill him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So no matter what you do, Legion will die. This is not a Morden thing of like you can do these tricky things to convince him that it's the right idea and keep him alive in a tricky way. Nope. Legion dies no matter what you do. The other possibility is that you choose to just ally with the Geth. You say, yep, Legion, go ahead, upload the code, and the Quarians don't stop attacking, and the Quarian fleet is obliterated. All of the Quarian people are dead, and outside of a few people on pilgrimage, that species is gone. And Tally, who you are forced to take on the mission with you, looks up, sees the wreckage, and jumps off of a cliff. And
oh, dang.
Yes, it is a heartbreaking scene. So there are some very, very significant consequences that can happen if you don't do everything correct.
It's a cool quest. It's a cool quest line. I have that save set there. It's save number 245, so that I can go back and play out the different options because I want to watch all the different cinematics. So that one I set aside specifically so that I can go back after I'm done playing the game and play out all the different scenarios because they're cool.
Good.
They're really cool.
They are really cool. Again, like the thing that I think is super interesting about Mass Effect 3 is the thing that we will not really experience, or that I should say like you two will not really experience, which is the difference in the gameplay depending on how you played it. So, for instance, I heavily encourage, if somebody is thinking, oh, I wonder what Mass Effect 3 is like on its own, play it. Play it without doing a Mass Effect 2 run, play it without importing any save, just do Mass Effect 3 and see how different the game is. Because a lot of Mass Effect 3, you are these side quests and you have to make these choices, but if you've done all these things, you get the best of both worlds. But if you don't import a save, you don't get the best of both worlds. You have to make tough choices. And while I love the characters that are presented and the way that Mass Effect 3 ties its story together and rewards you for playing through it, I also think it's kind of cool to just be forced to make terrible choices. Like, that's a fun game design that we don't really have to do that often in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing about like how cool the Thane and Morden quest lines are compared to, I feel like, this one a little bit. You are able to best of both world it. Same with the Ardit Yakshi Monastery, which we're going to go to next. You can very much best of both world that one as well. And I think the better quests are the ones where like it's just like a greater good kind of moment. I think that's really cool. Now, I think that would lose its... I think if the entire game was just like make terrible decision for good of Galaxy, it would cheapen it. So I'm glad that like not every mission is like, oh, this character is dead, because that's a powerful storytelling moment. So the game obviously needs to have those moments where you can save things as well. So, which I think they did a great job in this game so far. I felt like it's a very good balance of being able to be successful and have like, you know, okay, we were able to, this was a good outcome. The galaxy is a better place than it was yesterday. And then also things like, you know, Morden and Thane, where it's like the galaxy is less because this incredible person is gone. So,
yeah. Any other thoughts, Matt, before we go to the Leviathan DLC?
No, I just really enjoyed this. I wish I did what Dan's doing, just put save points that I need to go back to and make decisions on.
It's really smart.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the Leviathan DLC. Now, there are a lot of missions in this DLC, I think 10 in total, but here's an extremely hyper-shortened version of it, because not a lot of plot happens, a lot more of it is tone and understanding of, like, broad things, which isn't really greatly conveyed by going beat by beat through every single scene in this. So, here's the plot that happens. A scientist is trying to explore rumors about the Reapers as legend. And Shepard is like, okay, but everybody knows the Reapers are real at this point. He goes, yeah, but Reaper legend might be able to tell us, like, actual other things about the Reapers that we didn't think were true. And what's more interesting is a Reaper was killed recently by something, but no one knows what. The guess is that it was done by the Leviathan of Dis. What is that? We don't know. We go on a massive search across the galaxy on multiple planets and through dead scientists. A lot of people die in this. Until we come to one final planet. The Reapers have been chasing us this whole time to try and find whatever this thing is. And we know that the Leviathan can control minds, so we have to act fast before we are susceptible to this. Now, Matt, you've written a very important note here. Would you like to talk about this note?
Yes, when Swolcaden shows up in one of the last parts of this DLC, he shows up just because you do this whole thing with Edie and then like somebody else, and then like at the last part, Swolcaden shows up in this apartment. In the apartment, there's this head of a it's a husk head, right?
The husk, yeah.
It's a husk head.
Husk.
Yeah, head of a husk, and you can interact with it, and it screams at you. It's great.
It's
really
great.
funny.
If you talk with Swolcaden enough, you can put it in your cabin in the ship.
Which is
and it's one of the greatest things in the cabin.
it makes talking to Swolcaden worth it, because honestly, it's usually not worth it talking to Swolcaden.
But he's pretty good in this scene.
He's pretty great. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you think we can sneak this on board the ship? I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Before it gets to that interaction, he interacts with the thing and it bites him. And he's like, hey, Edie, getting bit by a husk doesn't make you a husk, does it? And Edie goes, I would encourage applying Metagel. He goes, okay. So
that's the most important thing to come out of this mission is the fact you can take the head and put it in your office.
It is
so
very
sad.
important.
I missed that. I missed it, and every time I walk into my office, I can see the spot where it's supposed to sit, and my heart breaks a little. It's just so sad, because it is like that whole mission. I'm running around, and every time I walk by it, I like interacted with it at least 2 or 3 times because it was so much fun.
So from there, we land on an ancient ship with a sea diving mech. We dive down and talk to the Leviathan. It is a massive Reaper-like organic creature. And turns out this creature was a part of the original race that created the Reapers. They were the true apex predator. But they realized that all of these organic races who they would lift up, who they would have them offer tribute and essentially worship these Leviathans as gods, they kept making artificials that eventually killed them. And so they decided to make an artificial that would preserve life at any cost. And that AI went rogue and started harvesting all life in order to preserve all life. And it's a very long lore dump. There's a lot of information that goes into this. Some people love this lore. I do. Some people hate this lore. Dano's given me a big thumbs down on it. But we eventually convinced the Leviathan to join the fight, and we stumble out with a massive new ally. Dano, what did you not like about this?
It's such a bad sci-fi trope. Oh, the thing that you created to save the universe destroys the universe. It's just been done a million times. Yeah. And so like it wasn't even done originally. It was done very much like boilerplate. This is what every bad sci-fi movie that was ever written has ever done. And I was like, oh, that's what it is. It's just we created an AI that, took us too literally, and now it's killing us because it's a literal robot. So it's taking things literally. I'm like, oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Boo. Boo.
I thought it was bad, but also like it fits. But it's also like I like the idea of the Reapers just being this force, and it's just giving the Reapers an origin. Just kind of, in my opinion, just kind of like lessened them a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't need metachlorians to love the Force.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like like the fact that like we created the Reapers, and and now we're hiding under the ocean for 1 billion years. I'm like,
well, this one didn't hide. This is like the child of a child of a child that hid. Basically.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I thought we didn't talk about this awful fight before you go down into the water, where you this fight, I struggled hard with.
I didn't die on any of these fights.
Oh my gosh, I had a super hard time with the timing of it. I didn't know.
Let me clarify. I did die. I didn't die any more than usual on this fight.
I know I die a lot on crazy insanity mode. I probably shouldn't be playing on insanity, but like I've made my bed, I'm gonna lie in it.
But I'm glad you are.
But what I didn't have any problems with it until. So you have to basically this fight. You have to power up the mech that's gonna take you under the water. But while you're powering up this mech, the Reapers are attacking. So you have to basically ferry batteries from Cortez to these different battery stations. And while you're doing this, different Reaper creatures are landing and trying to kill you. And I just had a really, really hard time with trying to, I didn't understand that, you were supposed to be, running stuff back and forth. And so, I ended up on an autosave where I hadn't gotten anything done, but, there was a hard stop where you just failed. like if you like went past 5 minutes, then like they destroyed the mech and you failed the mission. So I essentially got in this like position where, like, and there's a long DLC. It's a crazy long DLC. I got in this point.
It is a long one.
I didn't understand what I was supposed to be doing. And by the time I did understand what I was supposed to be doing, I was on like a crazy time crunch. And I basically had to run around stealthed, trying to like, and just like fire off here and there just to survive to get these batteries charged. And it ended up being very unfun. But part was I misunderstood what I was supposed to be doing with it. It was a very, I just found it really weird. And you had to run for Cortez and run to a different, it was strange.
So the main thing that you're doing in that section is that you are, you're given a battery pack that will charge the mech, and you have to run and basically charge these batteries at these various stations, but the batteries will lose charge if you're not charging them. So you basically have to run from Cortez to a battery station, run back and forth a bunch of times.
Yeah. Which sounds easy. I did not find it easy.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
I found this very, very frustrating. It was also very soon after I went to insanity mode. So like if I played this like in line probably with everything else, I bet you I wouldn't have found it as hard as I did. But I had just bumped up to insanity because I played this like the first week by accident. I played this DLC. And so
there's this new area in the Citadel I can go to.
Oh, I can take a car somewhere. Oh no, I just started a 15-hour long DLC. But it could have been worse. It was fine. I didn't hate it. Yeah.
Side quests. There's only one side quest we're going to talk about this week, unless you guys want to mention any specific others. But there is an Ardot Yakshi monastery. We are told that the Asari government wants us to figure out what happened to a monastery where they kept all the Ardot Yakshi from roaming the galaxy. Brief reminder, Ardot Yakshi are Asari that are born of two pure-blooded Asari, where a genetic mutation happens, and when they meld with individuals, instead of sharing both DNA and memory, they instead basically fry the other's central nervous system, and they get more powerful. So they are kind of monsters. We definitely, for sure, all three of us killed an Ardot Yakshi in our last game of Mass Effect 2 by helping Samara kill her daughter, Morinth, and none of us decided to have a monster of Morinth join our crew instead of a space paladin. Not one of us. So
Totally. Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. We land and meet up quickly with Samara and one of Samara's daughters. The Reapers are here because the Ardot Yakshi are horrifying monsters when turned into Reapers. Man, these things are spooky. They scream, and they have a bad sound, and they teleport, and they can one-hit KO you. It's terrible. We successfully blow up the monastery, and Samara decides that her last living daughter cannot leave and cannot stay. So she must take her own life, Samara must take her own life, in order to prevent her from taking her daughter's life, which is what the code would demand. Shepard can make a Paragon interrupt to prevent this from happening and allowing both Samara and her daughter to live.
You never showed up for me. I don't know what happened.
Weird. Is it because maybe you decided to kill her in Mass Effect 2?
It's possible.
It was the most fun choice. The fact that they didn't do more. It's the coolest, the coolest scene in all three games is the scene with the Space Warlock and the Space Paladin in Mortal Kombat, like with two laser beams firing off each other, and you get to choose which one lives and which one dies. It is an amazing, cool scene. It looks amazing. It's a very cool decision. And then they just did nothing with it afterwards, and it is so disappointing. I'm still upset that they didn't do anything with it. But yeah, it's those scary Reaper Asari ladies though.
Oh man,
they're impossible to kill. But there is a during the load screens that will give you sometimes a little lore dump or a little hint, and there is a hint on how to kill these things, but it only pops up when I am in the Normandy, and the Normandy load screens are so quick. All I can do is read the first line, and I can't read what the rest of it is. So I have no idea what I'm supposed to be aiming at as a weak point for these things.
I don't think there is a weak point for these things.
There is. The load screen is trying to tell me. The load screen is trying to tell me, but I don't know what it is.
Well, there is. I have never found it. These things are just tough to kill.
They're so
I just
hard
shoot
to kill.
at them. I shoot at them and I just try not to die. That's all. That's the weak point is guns. That's the weak point.
Guns. Yeah.
Yeah. It's but yeah, it was a fun mission. So the daughter who stays in the monastery by herself, like I don't know. That seems
that's why I
hard.
took care of her. I took care of her. She didn't have to stay by herself. It's fine.
Oh, Matt, that's brutal.
I mean, it's like well, Shepard justifies it by saying, "I can't afford to have you turn into another banshee.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take care of you now, and you're already like your sister's already dead. Your mother never showed up. I don't know where she's at.
Yeah, weird. She just like doesn't show up. Kind of rude of her.
Yeah, kind of rude, right? And like and so the fact that there's this band, like they're like it's like and Shepard justifies it, and it's like it was also kind of brutal because like Liara was also in my party at the time, so it was like.
I brought Liara as well because that's the fun decision on this one. It really cheapens the side quest that they didn't have Morinth come along with you. There was no reason why she couldn't because she was in hiding.
Yeah,
So that would have been a cool moment, right? When like your team members like found out like that. I mean, you could have done something with that though, right? Like that is a cool moment that they missed on.
Yeah, I mean,
but
then again, in the terminal or on the there is a little bit of PS with Morinth in this mission afterwards because like you in the broker terminal in Liara's room, they like you find out there's like 3 letters that Morinth sent to her sisters. About
I get to that
life
in
on the
lore,
outside.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it was cool. I thought it was neat. I thought it was a sad thing because you kind of read about these lives that these people have to live when all they did was they were born with this terrible, horrific curse. Which, by the way, the way the Asari are an alien race, we talked about it. They can have children with any other alien race. So anyone can have children with the Asari, and the Asari purposely try not to have children with each other because they think it leads to these Arctic Yashi. But
well, it certainly can.
Yeah, it can, right? So, but I know how people works, and there is a 0% chance if the greater galaxy knew about the existence of these things. Because what happens with an Arctic Yashi if they fall in love, then they kill their partner, and it's like
they're Black Widows.
Yes, exactly. It's crazy, and I just don't see how so many people would be so down to marry these things if they knew that there was a chance that they were just gonna die.
I mean, the Asari marketing team would just have a terrible day with that. That's all.
I mean, I think that they do kind of talk about how most people don't know what Arctic Yachi are, but it would be if it gets out to the general public, it'd be pretty bad. You're right.
Or it's like an urban legend type of situation. They do mention that as well. That it's known as an urban legend or whatever. So yeah, it was a fun little mission though. Ready for our lore?
Let's do it.
This one's a real page turner.
All right, it's time for another round of Where Are Our Friends? So we're not going to go over everyone that we went over last week because some of them, nothing has changed. So no reason to get into that. So we're going to hop on and start with James Vega, a.k.a. LaCroix Shepard. So play through most of the game at this point, and his personality appears to be 95% I play poker, and 5% a bunch of people died because of a decision I made that one time. Mm-hmm. And that seems to be it. It's it was like, what if we made a big muscly boy who had the personality of big muscly boy? And it was like, oh, I feel like you could have done better than that, but that's all right.
There was a great line, by the way, when he's in the
game room,
the refugee area.
Okay.
Right? He's getting a tattoo after he gets the N7 thing, and then he's literally flirting with female Shepard. He's like, and she have a response like, is this flirting ever going to go anywhere? Or are you just going to keep flirting? Or are you just going to keep joking? It's great.
Yeah, he's I don't know. I thought they could have a lot more with him than they actually did. Javik, the last of the Protheans, he really dislikes robots. Like, it doesn't matter what proof that you show him that not all robots are bad. He doesn't like them. He doesn't like Edie. He doesn't like Legion. He doesn't like the Geth. And he doesn't like you because you like robots. It is a defining character trait. And I mean, get over it, bud. Like, you just got to move on. You got to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Move on, please.
Why isn't the robot out of the airlock yet? That's one of my favorite lines that he does.
Diana Allers, she is the reporter for the Alliance News Network, and she tries to make out with you.
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Cortez, the pilot for the landing craft on the Normandy, you help him get over his husband being dead, and then he decides that maybe it'd be fun to get with Shepard. And I'm like, we just dealt with you dealing with your husband's death. No. Maybe it's a little too quick. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong though.
It's weird. He doesn't seem that interested in me.
What's going on with Ashley?
She's existing. She does have a bit of an interesting arc where if you talk to her, you find out that her sister's husband was on Earth, fighting on Earth, and it was killed by the Reapers. And Ashley goes to be supportive of her sister. And I think at this point, her dad, or Ashley's mom and dad are both dead or MIA. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I think
which.
they're gone.
But it's a lot of Ashley kind of dealing with her grief in both healthy and unhealthy ways. She talks about how she's really mad with everything going on, and Vega is like, "Hey, you know what'll help? This bottle." And you can go, and Ashley is just passed out on the floor, and you're like, "Hey, what happened, bud?" She was like, "Vega said it would fix things." Okay, well, what was in the bottle? What was in the bottle? Yeah, the bottle's empty. Oh, no. I mean, I could turn on... do you want me to turn on the sprinklers? Do an emergency check of the sprinklers? I will pay you 1,000,000 credits not to do that, Commander.
I am struggling so hard with Ashley right now. It's just... I'm not enjoying her having her on my ship.
Caden's doing great, by the way. We'll get to him in a second here. He's doing great, though. So engineers, Gabby and Kenneth, they're the duo of Cerberus engineers. They're in love. Ooh. And you catch them in engineering. They're great.
The lower decks.
Yep, in the lower decks where Jack used to hang out. So that was great.
I mean, Jack's bed's still there. Somebody needs to use it.
So Edie, the unshackled AI from Mass Effect 2, she now has a body. It has literal stiletto heels. Joker is a fan.
There's a great scene when you're on the Citadel, where it's Edie and Joker hanging out in the bar, and Edie's just trying to naming off random Asaris, if they're hot or not to Joker. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll talk about that here in a second. Yeah.
Okay.
So Garrus and LaCroix Shepard get into a little contest where they see who's been in the crazier missions, and Garrus starts naming off missions that he was with Shepard, and LaCroix Shepard goes, missions with Shepard don't count, and Garrus goes, well, I've been with Shepard from the beginning, and that shut LaCroix Shepard right up. I'm like, you tell him, Garrus.
Yeah.
Jacob, our best friend Jacob. Finally run into Jacob, and he has left Cerberus, and he is helping former Cerberus scientists run from Cerberus. He's still awesome. He's still our best friend. He's still our friend who's doing the best. He's in love, and he's going to have a baby, and they're going to name it Shepard. I love it. It's the best. He pretends that he's not going to let his wife name it Shepard, but we all know that she is going to.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that Jacob is just doing great and he's a hero and he's loving life. And I'm like, yeah, you are. You're just awesome. I love Jacob so much. Joker's on our ship being a great pilot. He and Edie like to play hot or not when they're on shore leave. And it's as weird as it sounds. It's just like, what about this, Asar? And he's like, can we stop now? And then she's like, what about this one? It's like, I don't know, man. Caden is a Spectre now, and he's doing great. He and Shepard have a long conversation about how the Elusive Man, if it's possible, sees someone turning evil. Since in Mass Effect 2, the Elusive Man was all about protecting humanity, and now the Elusive Man is all about wanting the galaxy to be only humanity. And they have like a long philosophical conversation about that and what it means for good and evil and everything in between. Caden's just awesome in this game. He's great, and I'm so glad I chose Caden in Mass Effect 1.
Don't go back on the tapes.
Don't go back. Don't go back. Kelly Chambers, our yeoman from Mass Effect 2. Kelly Chambers died on the Citadel when Cerberus attacked. They tracked her down with a hit squad and executed her for leaving Cerberus and helping aliens. Prior to this, she had asked Shepard if she should stay and help or if she should change her identity and run. In my playthrough, I told her I thought that she should stay and help, and the guilt and the sadness is very, very real. I'm not going to lie. That was heartbreaking because you just walk in on Gabby and Kenneth talking about it, and it's like, oh no. Because she was awesome, and she was like a real hero and was great.
Yeah.
So Legion, the Geth who helped us Mass Effect 2, sacrificed himself. In the end, he refers to himself as I for the first time in the game. EDI informed Shepard and Joker that this proves that in the end, he wasn't part of a hive mind, but was his own individual being. Really cool little moment.
Really cool moment.
Yeah. Liara is still on her ship doing shadow broker things. She's great, living a good life. Miranda is still vague booking with Shepard every chance she can about her sister. Like, I don't know, Miranda. Like, if you don't want help, like, quit like messaging me about like your stuff. Like,
she has very explicitly at this point though asked Shepard for Spectre resources, and you can tell her yes or no.
Yeah.
Have I given her Spectre resources?
I don't know.
Is it in the conversation? Is it in the dialogue tree or is it in the resources?
It's in the dialogue.
Yeah.
It's like,
I probably did that. It's
when
probably a
you're
bad
random
decision.
Apartment.
Yeah.
It's the worst you can do.
We'll find out. So there's Morinth, the evil Asari space warlock. After visiting in Mass Effect 2, so she's visiting Earth after Mass Effect 2. Sure, nothing bad has happened to her. Other than that, she is writing letters to her sisters at the words are
convent.
Hard. The convent. I don't know if it were me and my sister was an Ardent Yakshi just like me, and I was like in the monastery and she was off living her best life. I'm not sure if I'd be super enthused to receive her letters. I'm just saying.
I mean, they didn't get the letters because the convent blocked all incoming transmissions.
Oh, it's even lamer. Like, they just did all the worst decisions with this character. It's so bad. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Samara, the space paladin from Mass Effect 2, she and Shepard go to the Asari convent, where her two daughters also live. In the end, you get to choose between her oath as a space paladin and the life of her daughter. Super cool. She will choose to kill herself if you don't have the Paragon interrupt in order to save her daughter, which I think is super cool as well. Tali is an admiral and is murder hoboing around the galaxy with Shepard, as she should be.
Yep.
Udina ended up being totally evil in what was the most obvious heel turn in the history of heel turns.
Yeah, I don't even know it's a heel turn if it's just a heel correcting the straight path.
No, it's just like a double heel turn. He's just like Dom Mysterio, really.
And then Zaid. We run into Zaid on a side quest where we end up like having to protect this asset of the Shadow Broker, who was once an asset of Cerberus, and he is trying to kill this asset of Cerberus because he's trying to just stop all Cerberus things. And then we stop him and he goes, ugh, I knew I should have done my research better on this one. And then he's like hanging out on the Citadel. You can go and say hi. So yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I ran into a really interesting, because I was in the middle of doing this mission and I accidentally stumbled into the Miranda dialogue, because like the two apartments were like literally right next to each other, right? And like outside the apartment, the Zaid apartment, you can hear like gunshots because Zaid's killing people in the apartment, killing off the other mercenaries.
The other bad guys.
Yeah, if you walk into the Miranda apartment on accident, you can still hear the gunshots happening while you're talking.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun. It's a fun little side quest because like you're sent by the Shadow Broker to talk to a Shadow Broker. I think this is the one. Or there's another one where you're sent by the Shadow Broker to talk to an agent of the Shadow Broker. I love it because it's just Liara, but she sends you as the Shadow Broker. It's really fun, and I think it's kind of clever how they play the Shadow Broker into it. So, love that little bit. But yeah, that's where our friends are, and Jacob's still doing great, which I love. We have to do a who's the most brokenest friend at some point before we're done because. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Just because I want to brag at how good Jacob's doing still.
I mean, yeah.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Much.
This top piece of bread is basically a big chunk of Texas toast.
I have the first good. Okay, Conrad Werner.
I'm fascinated in this because it's such a silly, dumb quest line that is so good. I'm glad that this was the first good, and I love how much you've written.
Well, I want to make sure I got it all right, so I went into the wiki to make sure I got everything right about him. And his sister is in the Andromeda game. So, like, the Werner storylines continue.
Oh, my God.
I don't think I knew that.
Oh, no.
So, anyway, Conrad Werner. You probably don't remember Conrad Werner if you've just been recapping with us. So, here we go. In Mass Effect 1, Conrad is just hanging out on the Citadel, like, totally fanboying over Shepard, because he's the first human Spectre. When Conrad meets Shep, he asks for a selfie, begs for an autograph, and is dreaming of becoming a Spectre himself. Eventually, you have to convince him that maybe the best move is to stay home with his wife. If you don't convince him of this, Conrad dies.
Well, that's where mine ended then.
Is that where?
Because I got to the poster and I never saw the dude again.
Yep, he's super dead.
Yep. So he goes off and he challenges a bunch of Turians and they just kill him. You hear about it in a news brief later. So in Mass Effect 2, we catch up with Conrad on Ilium, where he's out there cosplaying as an N7 agent. As our resident fake secret agent, he's roaming the galaxy, quote-unquote, fighting crime, until he gets duped into helping a con artist try and steal a literal restaurant and bar. Shepard steps in to explain that Conrad isn't actually a secret agent and fixes the mess that Conrad made. If Shep fixes the mess, Conrad flies off into the sunset and creates an orphanage for kids called Shepards. If you don't do this, Conrad dies. So you have to do everything correct here in order to get to Mass Effect 3, where Conrad is back at it again. This time he joined Cerberus because, hey, Shepard joined Cerberus, so it must be okay and the right thing to do. And this is the fun part we learned right at the very beginning, is actually he was never married and he lied about it. So he never had a wife that he had to go back to. So now that he's working for Cerberus, they have him doing a very important job of recruiting people to their cause. Shepard finds out about this when Cerberus uses Conrad as a distraction to sabotage some metagel dispensers that the alien refugees rely on. You might be thinking, wow, what a monster and a total fool. But then hold on, turns out that Conrad is actually a super genius who did his dissertation on xenoscience and dark matter, the very subjects we need to save the galaxy. With this newfound information, we utilize Conrad to help us gain valuable information about the galaxy-saving McMuffin, the McMuffin that we need to save the galaxy and destroy the Reapers. After this, Shep heads off to fix the metagel dispensers, and an assassin tries to shoot Shepard. Conrad dives in, taking a bullet, and dying the hero he always wanted to be. Unless you saved Jenna, the waitress from Cora's Den in Mass Effect 1. If you save her, then She is on the Citadel at this very moment and sees what happened and disables the assassin's gun just in time to save Conrad Werner. And she is so impressed by his selfless act that she asks him out on a date. The end.
But that's not
Amazing.
quite the end. Because, so, the dissertation that Conrad writes requires you to have done, like, 3 other things in order for it to actually work. Like, you need to have talked to this person, you needed to have acquired the arms thing where, like, you could buy things on your ship from that dealer in Mass Effect 2, and otherwise it's just worth a single war asset.
Oh, I haven't gone. I think Conrad. I have to go and look and see what I have for war assets from this. But yeah, it's I love the Conrad Werner story now because it's so good. Because he's like, oh yeah, I did my dissertation on xenoscience and dark matter, and Shepard's like, what?
That seems too good to be true.
All right, what's our not so good?
The not so good is like this is an interesting story choice, and I get that it would probably be too difficult, or maybe not. I don't know anything about coding or making video games, but there are a couple of instances and missions where like we go to destroy something. For instance, on the Rachni relay, we go to destroy the Rachni. In the Ardok Yakshi mission, we go to destroy the Ardok Yakshi, and we do that to prevent these forces from falling under Reaper control. And it never changes how many of those things we faced at any point in time. And I really wish that it did. Like, not a ton, but maybe instead of 4 Banshees on a mission, you get 3. Or something that just, like, rewarded you in a very measurable way. I think that would be nice.
It'd be interesting from a storytelling framework to have it go in-game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Best good, Matt at arms.
Best good is a bit of dialogue between Shepard and Legion. Because when you meet up with Legion for the first time, when you meet up with Legion, you can have a dialogue option. It's like, hey, by the way, what happened to you between games? And Legion's like, well, we went back to the Geth and we talked and we decided, we should prepare for the Reapers. And so Shepard goes, oh, they actually believed you? Must be nice.
Yep. And all the Geth just go, yep, this is the thing, and then that's it. That's all that's all that's needed.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Like, what, they actually believed you? That must be nice.
Yeah, just the delivery was so good. The delivery was incredible. I watched on both Mail Shep on Dan's play and mine. It was like, both of them did a phenomenal job on that line. Because it's the perfect line.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
He asks each traveler 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number.
I will ask myself 3 questions.
Hey there, Matt. What are you liking so far?
The scanning minigame.
Mm-hmm.
Was playing that a bunch this week. I think I spent most of my time playing this week just doing the between story mission, avoiding story missions as much as possible, and just going around scanning solar systems, and playing Void the Reapers because it's so much fun. I haven't really finished a lot of the McMuffin storylines. At least I don't think I have. I can't tell because the quest lag sucks. At tracking these things, like, hey, you got the thing, okay? Like, tell me, you at least got the thing, and I can.
It does tell you if you got the thing. It does tell you that.
It
Does
doesn't
it?
tell you.
Yes.
It doesn't tell you completed the quest. It tells you got the thing. So it tells you got the McMuffin, but it doesn't tell you what that McMuffin is for. So like it'll be like, oh, you got the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin, but it doesn't say that you need the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin to help out in the hospital. So you,
it'll just say, hey, you've got a McMuffin. Find somebody that could eat a McMuffin right now, and you're like, okay.
All right, fine. That's helpful.
And you can get the McMuffin before the person needs the McMuffin as well. So like, you can go talk to someone, like, hey, I need a McMuffin. You're like, I have a McMuffin.
Storm Rage, what are you liking so far?
There are just so many small moments that are really beautiful and really good. like we talked about it earlier about a lot of moments happen off of the ship this time around. And so there's a mission where it's not even a mission, it's just a scene where you can go and hang out with Garrus on the Citadel. And Garrus and you have a shooting contest where like you're in the middle of the Citadel, things are cars are flying past you, and you're shooting at these blanks. And you, at the very end, you can choose to either hit the last shot or miss it and give Garrus the, hey, you're the best one in the galaxy. And if you miss it intentionally, which is what I did because I'm a good bro, Garrus goes, yes, this is my favorite spot on the Citadel. And I love that moment so much. And there's and I'm gonna do twofer, and then I'll ask you guys what you chose for the Garrus mission. There is a line when you are in the computer mainframe with the Geth, shutting down the Geth fighters, where Shepard asks Legion, like, "Hey Legion, this is supposed to be like history, right? So why are the Quarians wearing helmets? They wouldn't have worn helmets at this time." And Legion responds, "Well, this is processed through your memories. How many Geth have you seen without their helmets on?"
Quarians.
And my Shepard got to say, well, one, actually. And then he went, well, that's not enough to understand all Geth, or all Quarians.
I was actually kind of bummed at that point. I was going to ask you about that because I was like, oh, I guarantee you that because it's definitely like a moment like where the Quarians, if you romance Tally, because you can see the Quarian without her helmet on. Very cool.
I mean, they don't show Tally's face on the when she takes the mask off at the end of that mission too either. So.
Correct. The only way that you can see what Tally's face looks like is if you romance her in 2, and then in 3 she gives you a picture of her face without her mask on.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's cool.
What did you guys choose? Did you let Garrus win, or did you put him in his place?
I put him in his place because I'm Renegade Shep.
That's really funny. I thought about it, to be honest, because like I'm a sniper, and like I kind of thought there was a bit of pride in the line, but at the end I was like, no, this is like it's important to him and not important to me. So I missed it. I thought that was kind of fun.
I actually was. I said I should have waited to get back with Liara until after this mission, because I think at this point you can also start, if you're FemShep, you could start a relationship with Garrus.
Sure. I thought you could only do a relationship with Garrus if you romanced him in 2. I wasn't sure about that.
I'm not sure about it either, but it seemed like a good opportunity to be like, hey Shepard, I have feelings for you.
I thought there was going to be a moment where I could start to like a romance arc with Liara after a moment on the Citadel, but it never seemed to materialize because it felt like it was going that way and never kind of materialized. So I'm not sure like if it's because of the choices that I made in earlier missions where I had turned her down.
It's because you locked in your romance with Jack earlier. So when you see Jack on Grissom Academy, I'm pretty sure that she asks at some point, either there or at a couple times later when you meet up with her, hey, are we still a thing? I'd understand it if you don't want to be. And I'm pretty sure you said yes.
I did, but I thought she said, let's keep it casual. If you change your mind, no big deal. I'm not going to, but I thought that's what she said. But I've not seen her since. She's not been back in the bar, so I don't know. Living her life, I assume.
She's busy doing biotic.
Yeah, but that did lock in your romance. You'll see her again, but yeah, that is why it did not offer a romance for Liara.
It is.
Unless you have the wonderful mod that I have, and then it'll offer a romance no matter what.
The thruple mod.
Yeah, I am romancing currently Ashley, Liara, and Tally, and it's wonderful.
I never want to hear you complain about mods ever again.
No, I don't think I can. Mods are great. I've changed my mind.
I love that song.
Dano, what do you like it so far?
Now it's that you and that mod, but before that, it was I finally stopped looking for the McMuffins during the side quests, and I just buy the McMuffins for 1,000 credits after the missions are over. And that just makes me enjoy the game more. I feel like that's what they should have just done, is you pay 1,000 credits or you just gain points somehow in order to earn McMuffins for the side quests that you need. It's a lot more elegant. You go to the Spectre Terminal. It makes sense from a lore perspective. It makes sense. And so I'm not like diving behind every crate. I'm not like stressed about what's on this side quest, what's that one. After the quests after I do a couple quests, I go to the Spectre Terminal. I buy what I need to buy. If I find it, that's fine, but I'm not looking for it anymore. And it just, I like it better. I think it's cleaner. Yeah, actually just not looking for the McMuffins, not worrying about them, and just buying up from the Spectre Terminal been really nice. But now I only have like 2 side quests left or something like that.
I know. I'm in the same boat. It's crazy.
I want it to end.
I have a bunch to do. Still. And a lot I can't do because I can't do Omega anymore. I got the Omega quest still on my quest log.
Yeah, I also have an Omega Hack the Terminals quest. I got 2 out of the 3, and it's just going to sit there taunting me the entire game.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
The Omega, when you do the Omega DLC quest that you like have to do while you're in the Omega DLC, or otherwise you just are
locked out
forever.
Oh, I'm glad I did that. That would have drove me absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I got both of them because I couldn't find the stupid converters.
I bet there's a mod that fixes that for you.
Yeah, I wish I could just delete it.
I bet you it's what it does. There's a lot of times it was kind of like those quests that live dead but still sit there. Someone just has a mod that fixes that for you.
Cleans up.
I'd look for it. I would look for it. I know I would. It would drive me insane. So Matt, what are you struggling with other than that unfinished quest?
Ashley. I don't like Ashley at all. She's mildly interesting in 1. She's actually pretty cool in 1. Like, she has a good story. She's had like 2. She's just like, you're worthless. Like, you don't do it. She's like kind of racist in there, and like in her little room, and then she like the whole situation where he ends up drunk on the floor, and I get like she's mourning with her sister, but it's like, yeah, you're not great. And then like when I take her on a mission, because I take her on the N7 missions with Swole Caden, because that's what you do. Because they're all the N7s. I take the N7s with me, right?
That's a fun choice.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I got to use these characters, and I'm not using somehow, right? So I'm always gonna put them on the N7 missions.
I always bring Caden with me on the N7 missions. I always leave Swole Caden at home. I brought Swole Caden once. I was like, wow, you're awful and worthless. Yeah.
No, he's fine. He actually shoots at things. Ashley just disappears.
So does actual Caden. Caden is great because he has an assault rifle, plus he also has his magic powers. Caden is great in this game. He's so good.
I want to point out a fun thing, which is that we will not experience because the multiplayer for the Legendary Edition doesn't exist. But the N7 missions, if you're thinking these kind of feel a little disconnected, they're just kind of not really related to a lot of the story. They're just like pure side quests.
They're also like small arenas. Like they feel like small arena, like very
that's
like
correct.
Small like arenas, not very much like a.
Those are the same. The reason why is because those are the same maps that they use in multiplayer. So they're introducing you to the maps in multiplayer. And if you notice at the end of every mission, they're like, hey, we haven't fully controlled this. We will send teams to continue to maintain control. And that's you when you play multiplayer. Because there used to be this whole mechanic called galactic readiness, where your war assets would have a multiplier based on how much you had played the multiplayer. So if you didn't play multiplayer at all, you would have a 50% readiness rating. So let's say you had 3,000 war assets, you actually had 1,500 war assets. And so you had to play multiplayer in order to increase that multiplier, and you just go back and like reinforce these areas again and again and again.
Oh.
And the multiplayer, by the way, is still online. You just have to have the original Mass Effect 3, not the Legendary Edition, and that slaps. That game still slaps. That online multiplayer still slaps. It's phenomenal.
Was it PvP?
Wow.
No, it was PvE. It was like a horde mode.
Okay, that's fun.
That's cool.
Was it like team based? So like if the 3 of us wanted to log in, oh man, that's fun.
Yes.
That's why I think we need to play Borderlands at some point, is so that we can just like all hop in
All play
and
together.
Yeah.
But yeah, hypothetically, if all of us bought Mass Effect 3, and we might be, I mean, I'm sure that it's like $2 at some point, we could play a couple rounds of the multiplayer together and just kind of experience it so we could talk about it. I think that'd be fun on week 5.
Or an After Dark after week 5, yeah.
Could be like a game night too.
Right.
Well, I'll have to wish list it when it goes on sale because it will 100% go on sale.
For sure.
We'll have to wish list it and then buy it when it does. Because that would be like, you have to play through it, or can you just like?
I think you can just log in and play multiplayer.
See, that'd be fun.
Oh,
though I'm
perfect.
sure you can import a save as well, though, right? And then all of a sudden have everything you need.
Well,
so
my save's on my Xbox. It's gonna be hard to import that. But yeah.
no, you just buy it's a mod that you download as a save. That's what I did. That's
Okay.
why I have my DLC, my New Game Plus save. It
All
was
right. It's on my wish list. I'll let you know when it pops up.
That's fun. That's fun. Good times. Good times.
What are you struggling with there, Storm Rage?
Those stupid primes. Those stupid Geth primes. I'm so excited that I don't have to deal with any more Geth primes.
Oh
They're
yeah.
so stupid strong. Don't like them. They're too powerful. That's it.
That's the way I
Dan,
felt
what are you
about
struggling
those
with?
Snot things. That Reaper fight. So same vein as you. That Reaper fight, holy buckets. First, I could not figure out how I was supposed to dodge those lasers. Schwal and it was a lot of Schwal and a little bit of I, but finally figured out that I could bait I needed to bait one of the most powerful beings in the universe into thinking that I was going to go left and then dodge to the right. But at the very end of that fight, it was like 10 feet from you and you hit slow mode and you have your laser pointer pointing it in the eye and it's about to shoot you. And when it's not every other time in this mission, you've dodged. You don't dodge this time. You just keep pointing the laser pointer in its eye, and then eventually the cutscene kicks in. But if you don't know the cutscene's going to kick in, you think you're supposed to just dodge roll at the right time. And so I kept dodge rolling and kept dying. So I kept getting to that final stage, and I'd be sitting there with the laser pointer in his eye, and then I would be like, okay, now's the time to dodge roll. And then I would dodge, and then it always kills you if you dodge. So you have to like stay strong and like point the laser pointer in its eye in the last phase, and then it ends. I had to Google it. Couldn't figure it out. It drove me crazy. Absolutely crazy. Because I was like, the mechanic of this fight is dodge rolling. So I'm dodge rolling, but no matter what I do, it just like follows me. I don't get it. It drove me bananas. Absolutely bananas. And then also, like, it's 10 feet from you, and they're like, the entire Geth and Quarian fleet are bombarding it from space, and like, Shepard just like walks away unscathed. I'm sorry. And like, it's a trope. It's a complete trope that like the action hero like dives out of the way and like there's big explosions behind it. So why wouldn't I assume that I'm supposed to dive out of the way at the last minute and the big explosion behind me? Like, I just couldn't wrap my brain around it.
Well, they're lucky they had that plateau and flat platform there too.
Oh,
That's true.
gosh,
That's
with
true.
with a very clearly defined area. But then if you went too far back, you lost track of your own body, so you had to stay somewhere in the middle so you could see what you're doing. Because if you went too far forward, then you had lost the ability to move left and right. So you had to stay directly in the middle of the platform. It wasn't their proudest moment, I feel like, but it's fine. It was
cool. It was super cool. But yeah. You think about it too much, it falls apart.
Yeah, no, it was super cool, but then it all fell apart while I was playing it because I didn't get it. I'm like, am I dumb? Am I the problem here?
Turns out, yes. Yes, you were, Dan.
I mean, yeah, it was, though. You're right. All right, Matt, what surprised you about the game?
The Thane ending. I'm surprised how much it actually affected me in a way. Because he's just a lizard boy in a video game, right? Like, and he's just like, but I was like, I guess so emotionally invested in this story and these characters that like, the fact that like one kind of like saved the day and then just immediately croaks. No pun intended. Pun partially intended.
It's huge though. Like
it's huge. It's super huge.
Yeah.
And then seeing his name on the wall, I'm like, oh come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like all right. And it's just this lizard guy that I liked a lot, and then
he's a likable
he's
lizard
gone.
guy.
Yeah, it's great, and like and his son is super cool now that he's like not trying to be an assassin. So, yeah,
He's
that's
just
what
a
surprised me.
lizard boy. Say see you later, boy.
I give that
Storm-
goof 8 out of 10.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to shut the show title right now.
Storm Rage, what surprised you?
There was a moment at the end of the Ardat Yakshi monastery where Samara turns to her daughter and basically says, "There is no choice. I have to kill you." And then she holds a gun up to her own head, but I won't do that. And the music came in at the perfect time. And like it swelled at the right moment. And there are just so many moments in this game that do not work nearly as well if the music doesn't like pair with it perfectly. And it so often does. I actually used this music in like a performance art piece back in undergrad, and this is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. And the amount of times where it'll be like ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, and that like little montage just will like keep creeping in various moments, and it's just in such a minor key that a chill runs down my spine every single time I hear it. The music's just so good.
I cannot wait to introduce you to the music of Dragon Age. It is amazing.
I have heard the music of Dragon Age. It is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Also, I feel like this was one of the ones where I don't like the Paragon check for Space Paladin. I feel like her entire being is wrapped up in her oath that she took, and to let Shepard talk her down at that minute, I didn't think make any sense for the character. So I get that you have to have ups and downs to make it make sense, but I felt like for the character is very black and white. There is no gray area with her. It's just these you make the decision based on the code. And so I thought that she couldn't make the decision the code was demanding of her. So she had to make the other decision, made complete sense for the character. And so I kind of wish they had done that. I wish they had made that leap there. I think it would have been really cool. But it's fine.
Dano, what surprised you about the game?
I'm all in on this story. It's not perfect, but it is a ton of fun. Being the person in charge of putting together a joint human-alien resistance against an almighty race of evil robots that's intent on destroying all intelligent life every 50,000 years is super duper fun. I am all in on this story. I love the way that they're weaving in your buddies from Mass Effect 2. It's all just great. It's great. I absolutely am in love with this story. It's fantastic. The story from Mass Effect 3 is as good as the characters are in Mass Effect 2.
I would agree with that. For me, the story, there's just so many moments that are just unparalleled. I think that there is some criticism about how they get to those moments can be a little clunky sometimes, but the end of Rannoch is beautiful. The Thane defending himself and then dying in the hospital is beautiful. Mordin, somebody else might have got it wrong. Beautiful. Absolutely just defining moments for a game that just emotionally wrecks me time and time again.
I just hope they stick the landing. I just want them to stick the landing so bad. But yeah, it's been so good. I could not have imagined it being this good. I honestly didn't.
You're thinking, can I afford to buy a car like this? Huh, am I right? Seriously, Stan, you can't afford not to buy a car like this, and I'm going to make it easy on you.
Storm Rage, sell the game to a friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't make me go last because yours is too good, Dano. You can save the galaxy by the power of friendship and being cool.
Matt, sell the game to a friend.
You shoot a Reaper in the face and yell at people on a war ends.
Pretty good, too.
All right. For me, it is you too can defeat a several-mile-long alien robot via the power of the dodge roll.
It's the truth.
But you don't even need a dodge roll. You could just list lazily to the left.
That's what I did though. Eventually, what I would do is I would list to the right and then dodge to the left. And then list to the right, and then dodge to the left. I'm like, this is the...
Surely he's not going to dodge to the left this time.
Oh, no! He dodged to the left!
This is the dumbest thing I've ever done in a video game. And you have to do it like a lot in a row. And then at the end, you don't dodge. It's the ultimate twist ending. I was like, oh, you don't dodge in the last one. All right, that's it for this week. Don't forget, in 3 weeks we're playing Chrono Trigger. I'm super excited, but I'm even more excited to finish Mass Effect. I'm not gonna lie, this has been an absolutely wild ride. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to all our patrons for patronizing us. Special thank you to our producers and best friends forever, Baximus and RidiculousHat. You can find links to our Discord and content information in the pinned comment on our Patreon page or at patreon.com/squelch.
And Mass Effect 3 is a game, and games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah! Sling those Mass Effect relays, baby!
This is the end of this show! Everybody bye!
I thought for sure that I would remember what I was going to say. I never did. It never came back to me. It was really, really good, too. Like, what was it?
I definitely just looked at the clock and thought, oh, did my computer never update for daylight savings time? No, we've been recording for 2+ hours. I thought for sure we were like just over an hour. Nope, 2 hours again.
Oh, foiled again. So it's slow everything down.
There's so much we're not talking about, though we actually are getting to a lot of it, though. But
yeah.
The big stuff, yeah. Like next week should be too bad. Like, cause like
the Citadel DLC is pretty long.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't have a ton. Like next week we've got Thessia, which is not an insanely long mission. That's like, I would say shorter than Tuchanka, for sure. Closer to like Palaven. Then you've got Horizon, which is also about the length of Palaven. And then you've got the Citadel DLC, which is probably about as long as Leviathan, maybe a little bit longer. Because it just introduces so many new things. And there's a really cool thing at the very end of it that I'm not going to spoil, but is extremely good.
I'm about to like get to a point, because I'm at the point where I just did Thessia. I probably should do Horizon, and then I'll save the Citadel for like a good night where I can just relax and enjoy it.
Yes. For the Citadel DLC, be ready for a very, very silly, over-the-top plot that is just fun and fan service. That's all it is. And it's wonderful.
You and Schwal have like hyped this up to incredible heights. I am looking forward to it. Should we head over to After Dark and talk real quick about a little bit of high school basketball drama?
Yeah.
Sure.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. I gotta run for a quick minute, and I'll be back.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Talk to you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.